just a little bit to prime all water stains with stain inhibitor primer.
Which one's the order? Yes.
Thoughts, Mr. Edwards?
Yeah, I mean, it does look to me like the Van Lee, who has a little bit, is a few extra things that they're presented in their scope of work. Again, I don't have any experience with either company, so I guess I'll defer to their competency. To Councilman Esposito, but I mean, if we just comparing the two of them based upon what I have here, I think Van Lee would be the choice out of those.
And I agree. So we'll put a resolution on the end of tonight's agenda. We will award Van Wee Painting the painting for 2012 State Police Barracks. All right. I know we're still on old business here. Anything in town hall, Luke?
A little chilly in there?
It's a little chilly. Air conditioner's working good.
No, I haven't got a chance to look at, we talked about disposing of the vehicle back here, and I haven't had a chance to look into that. I haven't known to dispose of it, but I will by the next meeting. We still have the light out in the parking lot that needs to be repaired. I haven't gotten around to that yet. Did do some minor repairs, the faucet and the ladies, and we repaired and do that. Yes, that's about it. There was no more supply, a couple more supplies to buy for the cleaning department. But, other than that,
Okay. I will speak for Mr. Nick Moore tonight, Highway Department. So it looks like all our summer projects are complete, so we should see the bills coming in for that. We did get a couple of calls on Willow Run and Overlook. Some of the work that the county had been doing, so Nick had gone out and talked to the residents. So hopefully that's all complete. He has completed his 2013 budget submittal process, so that's in the office.
there was a problem on Willow Run. I read. What was that problem? Something about a ditch or something?
Well, when they put the stone down, apparently it's like either because it's so dry or they didn't pack it, it started spreading out across the road, but Nick was gonna go up there and sweep it up.
Was that the one I read in our mail?
Yeah. Actually, I have a note from the citizen who called last Thursday, I think. So I talked to Nick, again, I saw Nick Thursday, so Nick had gone up there to talk to him. I'll follow up with the citizens and the residents and make sure they're happy with the response. So when we do the 2013, Nick's going back to Joe Ryan right now. Parker's Corners and Dowell Road. I don't know if you get in touch with Mr. Myers. We really could use a letter. If you guys want to draft a letter, I'll cut it, or I'll sign it and send it on. We need to send it to the county, and we need to send it to Joe Ryan, because we want to try to get on the budget for the repair of Parker's Corners. And then, send it to our 4 county legislators and Mr. Ryan too. So I think that's it for highway. Doctor.
Water.
Walk there, Dr. Water.
Nice quiet month,
Dry as one.
finally. Getting a few estimates, the water levels dropped down again in the wells, had gone up 4 feet, dropped back down 3, so it's getting a little low. Getting a couple estimates for cleaning out the 6-inch well number 2, screen on the bottom. And about every 10 years it should be done. We're now at the 12-year point on that, so see when the pumps pump, get more water flowing in there, so they'll start sucking air on this. That's about $10,000 for that job, that 3-day job.
How do they do it, George?
Oh, they gotta pull the pumps out and then put a TV down there to make sure what is down there, from, what incrustation or anything, scaling is down there and all the holes coming in.
Yeah.
Then they inject some kind of chemicals and everything down there, which loosens it up, and they have a brush that goes down there and scrubs it out. Then they have to put the pump back in, flush the whole system out.
They've got a camera there.
Yeah. Camera before, camera after.
And what are the water levels now compared to our normal average?
They're running about 4 feet low.
Which is better than they were a few weeks ago.
Well, it's about a foot lower, a foot above what it was a couple weeks ago, a month ago, which is our lowest in history.
Heading in the right direction.
No, very good. They were up 4 feet a few weeks ago. It hit, I'm gonna say it hit 6.9 feet above the tops of the pumps. Now we're down to 8 feet, which is, it had gone up to 11 feet, then we had those few days of rain. Now each day is dropping about a tenth of a foot, 2/10 of a foot every day. But our water usage is way down now, we're only doing about 40,000 a day, and 100,000 a day we were doing back in the beginning of the summer.
Anything else good?
Yeah.
I got your 2013 budget, appreciate it, very detailed.
Yep.
We're working on that.
Got a little bit lower, and I know the rates are dropping down, I guess, I was working on tax rates on it today, so. They're going down.
Good.
Okay.
Are we good with George? Doctor? Thank you, George. Code enforcement.
It was average month. I think you all have my report. We did pick up 2 new house starts this month, September. 2 new houses being built in town. And it's running about average right now. Permits are picking up.
I know we talked last Wednesday or Thursday, the Covey residents,
Yep.
you were looking to,
I have a letter from that bank. There seems to be an issue with the properties. So they don't want to touch it until they get that straightened out. So I gotta find out through Iowa tomorrow or DOT property. They're saying there's another parcel there. I don't know where. But they are gonna clean it up as soon as they have clear title. If they don't have clear title to another parcel, which I don't know where it is. The original sale fell through. We all know that. So,
but they did say they're going to clean it up.
I have an email from him last Wednesday. They don't want to spend $11,000 to clean it up until they own it. So, I only can take the man for his word. But that's why I was holding off to have you guys pass a resolution to hire someone
Yeah.
to clean it up. But the residents on each side have put up with a lot of
Yeah, no doubt.
issues.
How long does it usually take to validate,
I don't know, I'll find out tomorrow. He sent me this letter late, I think Wednesday or Thursday of last week, and I was out of town, so I'll check with Iowa tomorrow. I didn't find another parcel, so I don't know what they're looking at.
Was it your impression that you think they'll react pretty quickly? I mean, there's some.
I would hope so,
Some creatures over there
but
that.
they're a shell company, they own 3 or 4 different names for this one bank, so.
Alright.
It's in a holding company is where it is right
And I think I've got your budget, right?
now. It's sitting on my desk.
All
It said the 17.
No, that's the third.
Or 13, you'll have it by then.
I brought my letter with me, just to remind everybody. Any questions for Mr. Dan? You're good? Thank you, Dan. Doesn't look like Darla made it. Carol?
Two things though. I had quite a few residents call about the town garage sale, why the town wasn't having one. So that's been throughout the summer. I had a resident on Parker's Corners call, and she was going to come to the meeting tonight, and then called back and said she wasn't able to. But she wanted me to say to the town board that she would appreciate, and so would the residents on Parker's Corners, if in 2013 the town could have another garage sale. So that's the first thing.
Is that a civic committee thing, or is that actually a town committee? I don't know.
Civic committee has done it. The other thing has to do with an applicant who came before the ZBA. And typically, when an applicant comes before the planning board and the ZBA, anything the attorneys or the engineers do are billed to the applicant, not the attendance at the meeting, because the attorney or the engineers are there to aid the boards. But anything over and above, whether they have discussions with another attorney or have to do research. This particular applicant that came before the ZBA came on, appears to be June 4th. And a public notice had been put in the paper, but the SBL number was incorrect, so they couldn't take an action that night. But the attorney did bill for work he had done prior to the meeting. The meeting then took place on June 18th, at which point the attorney again did work, and the meeting was held and there was a determination. This particular applicant called me and feels he should not be billed for the first meeting because it was the town's fault that the SBL number was incorrect in the newspaper. He doesn't feel that he should be held liable for it. So, having said that, the attorney did do work for it. I don't know. So it's up to the board to...
My initial thought is that, you know, certainly was a malicious mistake, and it could have been just as simple as a typo. It doesn't preclude the, you know, the attorney from doing legitimate work. I would think we'd have to pay for it. But I guess it's due to,
Depends on whether the work was duplicative, was the same, was it billing twice for the same thing? If it was different work done, it's like all, then it's chargeable to the project. Still,
should the attorney submit, you know,
itemized,
Well, it's itemized, but it's not itemized down to what the particular work is. So you have to contact with Bob Stout for both of the meetings with Bob Stout.
Maybe catch his name and number.
So the applicant called me today, and I just said I would talk to the board. So I will let you know that the board is doing what, being into it. Okay.
All good?
Yeah. I'll let him know.
All right, I'm going to skip over to town council, go to justice. And supervisor. Well, starting to work on the 2013 budget, working with, obviously, Mike and doing some transition work. We are working, I'm hoping to set up a meeting this Thursday with NRCS, DEC, Mike, George Meade, to more formally kick off the Norma Skill bank stabilization. We did have received some funds from FEMA. We've been pledged at 75% of the NRCS dollar figure, although Cole, or McDonald Engineering, Doug Cole, have put in a higher estimate. So we need to, I think, work the particulars about just the final scope of the project. We submitted the easement to Mr. Hayden, or Andy Brick.
Yep. And called back today, so I didn't think there's gonna be a problem, so get that signed tomorrow.
So I'm hoping that, I think I try to squeeze it in, a meeting with them for Thursday or Friday. Matter of fact, it's on the agenda that I'd like to ask the board the approval to go ahead and sign the McDonald engineering estimate to kick that off. Hopefully weather holds and we can get it in this year. And I think that's really got, that's some miscellaneous work and, for this month. So, yeah, that's it for me. So at this point, I will open the floor up for public comment. Privileges of the floor.
Norm Miller on Skyline Drive. Last month during the regular town board meeting, the board attempted to pass a resolution for mail procedures. I'm not sure if the town has mail procedures currently, but if they do, they apparently are very, very outdated. And it was recommended that the town have new procedures that are current. And it seemed to have met quite a bit of resistance, primarily from the town clerk who handles the mail, who felt that everything was being done properly and was not a problem. So I took the time to go through the minutes going back to June of 2011. And with the exception of last August, every month, the communications that come before the board have communications that are old. As an example, in the June meeting of 2011, there was a communication from NYMER, which is the insurance carrier for the town. I don't know what was in that communication. It could have been important, but that was not included in the May agenda. But it was received before the May town board meeting. In July, there was a communication from the Department of Transportation that was received prior to the June meeting that was not included until July. The statement was made that some employees and/or some officials received official town mail at their residence. And the question was, who were they? Well, I can tell you one, for example, is the highway superintendent. And that came about with the issue of Luter Drive and the contractor, the Gorman Group. And I went back to the report that was handed in by the town board on that issue. And the Gorman Group stated that on June 24th, 2011, they sent the first bill for $33,444.73 to 327 Birchwood Drive. So apparently that was sent, I would assume, to the home address of the highway superintendent. That particular invoice was not included in the July communication for board action. Again, in August, the Gorman invoice was not included with the town board. A Gorman employee stated that on August 1st, she called the town clerk inquiring about the $33,000 payment. And according to the report, the town clerk said the payment was made on July 13, 2011. The government employee advised that the town clerk that the July payment was for microsurfacing, not the fiber mat. The town clerk said she would look into that matter. This again was not included in the town board agenda or during the town board meeting, which I think is important that the town board be aware of what's going on. In September, there was communication about the New York State equalization rate in the Board of Elections regarding the primary, and another one from the purveyor law that were not included in the August meeting, but were put in for September. Again, there was in September no communication for the Gorman invoice, and they claimed that on September 19th they left a voicemail regarding the invoice and did not receive a call back. And this went on and on and on until the very last meeting of the year, which was a special meeting called the last week of December to approve the payment for the Gorman bill. I think if you have a mail procedure, it will help, if not eliminate, help to reduce issues like this. I know when the supervisor was on vacation this year, I stopped in to check his mail for him, and there was mail put in his box in the hallway. There was no envelope with it. One correspondence was from an attorney regarding an issue that was going on in town. It was not in an envelope. There was no envelope. It was there, anybody walking by could pick up and read. In addition, there was a correspondence from Congressman Tonko. Again, no envelope. And at the bottom of the letter, it said,